listen, listen. Gather round, come closer. Yes, you at the back, move forward. What I am about to tell you is not a small thing, oh. It is a story that will make you laugh until your wrapper falls off. It will make you laugh until your neighbor comes knocking to ask what is happening. This is the story of Grace, her husband Joseph, and the stepmother from hell. Sorry, I mean from the village, who came for omugwo and refused to leave. You heard me correctly, oh. Refused to leave. This woman came like harmattan wind, dry, harsh, but she stayed like the rainy season, long, heavy, and with plenty wahala. She came for 2 months and decided that, this Lagos life is sweet, oh. This their generator lights, this their DSTV, this their 3 square meals a day. I am not going anywhere. If you have ever had an in-law who overstayed their welcome, then grab your chair, hold your belly, and prepare yourself, because this story will wound you with laughter. Shall we begin? Yes, let us begin.
In the busy city of Lagos, where cars honk day and night and nobody sleeps, there lived a young couple called Grace and Joseph. They had a small flat in Surulere, and life was sweet like sugarcane. Then Grace became pregnant. 9 months later, she gave birth to a bouncing baby boy named Charles. The joy in that house. Joseph was so happy that he bought 5 crates of beer and shared them with all the men on their streets. But there was one small problem. Grace's mother was very sick in the village and could not travel to Lagos for omugwo. So Joseph said, "Don't worry, my dear wife. My stepmother will come from the village. She will help us." Grace's head sank like a stone thrown into the lagoon. She knew Mama Goi. You see, Joseph's real mother had died when he was just 12 years old. His father remarried Mama Goi, who raised Joseph from that young age. Because of this, Joseph felt he owed her everything. He could never say no to her, even when she was wrong. And Mama Goi, that woman's mouth was sharper than a new razor blade, and she knew how to use the guilt of raising Joseph like a weapon. But what could Grace do? She had just pushed a human being out of her body. She was tired, she was sore, and baby Charles was crying every 2 hours. So they called Mama Goi. "Mama, please come and help us with omugwo," Joseph begged on the phone. "How long?" Mama Goi asked. 2 months, Mama. Just 2 months. "Okay, I am coming." They agreed. 2 months, 8 weeks, 60 days. That was the deal.
Mama Goi arrived from the village on a hot Tuesday afternoon. She came with 4 big bags. 4. One bag would have been enough for 2 months, but this woman came with 4. Grace saw the bags and wanted to cry, but she smiled instead. "Welcome, Ma." Where is my grandson?" Mama Goi pushed past Grace and grabbed baby Charles from his cot. "Look at this fine boy. He looks like Joseph when he was small." The first month was not too bad. Mama Goi woke up early to bathe the baby. She cooked pepper soup with plenty of fish. She made oha soup. She made ensala soup. She made everything soup. Grace was eating well and getting strong. But even in that first month, there were small signs of trouble. Mama Goi would not let Grace hold her own baby for too long. "Give him to me. You don't know how to carry him properly. You will break his neck." When Grace wanted to bathe Charles herself, Mama Goi would shout, "Are you mad? The water is too hot. Do you want to cook my grandson like yam?" Grace would look at Joseph. Joseph would look at the ceiling. Nobody could talk. One day, Grace's friend Chioma came to visit. "Good afternoon, Ma." Chioma greeted Mama Goi politely. Mama Goi looked her up and down like she was inspecting spoiled fish. "Who are you?" "I'm Grace's friend from church." Grace is resting. She cannot see visitors. But Ma, I just want to... Did you not hear me? She is resting. Come back next month. Chioma stood there with her mouth open like a fish. Then she turned and ran out of the house. When she called Grace later, she said, "Your stepmother-in-law is a lioness. I was so scared I nearly peed on myself."
When the second month started, something changed. Mama Ngozi stopped waking up early. She stopped cooking. She stopped bathing the baby. Instead, she would wake up at 10 a.m., eat the food that Grace cooked, and then go back to sleep. One morning, baby Charles was crying and crying. Grace was in the kitchen cooking breakfast. She called out, "Ma, please, can you check the baby?" "Eh?" Mama Ngozi shouted from her room. "I am too tired. You check him yourself." Grace was shocked, but what could she say? She left the pot of beans burning on the fire and ran to check her son. From that day, Mama Ngozi became a professional food eater. She would wake up, eat breakfast, sleep. Wake up, eat lunch, sleep. Wake up, eat dinner, watch Africa Magic on DSTV, then sleep again. And the food, chai, this woman could eat like 10 people. One day, Grace cooked jollof rice for dinner. She made enough for the 3 adults to eat and remain small for the next day. By the time she came out from bathing baby Charles, all the rice had disappeared. Mama Ngozi had eaten everything, including the chicken that Grace was saving for Joseph. "Ma, did you eat all the rice?" Grace asked carefully. "Yes, so. Why? The food was sweet. You should cook more next time." Mama Ngozi replied, picking her teeth with a broomstick. Grace wanted to faint, but she controlled herself. Another day, Grace bought a big tin of pig milk. It was expensive, almost 5,000 naira. She was planning to use it for pap in the morning. But when she woke up the next day, the tin was empty. Completely empty. Mama Ngozi had poured all the milk into her tea at night. "Ma, the milk," Grace cried. "What is wrong with you? Is it not milk? You people in Lagos, you like to do shakara. In the village, we don't keep milk overnight. We use it finish." Joseph was watching from the corridor. When Grace looked at him for support, he quickly entered the bathroom and locked the door. But the food eating was just the beginning. Mama Ngozi started doing other wicked things. She would tell Blessing, the house girl, not to sweep or clean. "Leave it. Let Grace do it herself. She needs exercise after giving birth. Too much rest will make her fat like a Christmas goat." So poor Grace, who was still bleeding and tired from childbirth, had to wake up and sweep the whole house while Mama Ngozi slept like a queen. One Saturday morning, Joseph's friends came to visit and greet the new baby. Grace prepared small chops, puff-puff, spring rolls, chin-chin and cocktail sausages. She arranged everything nicely on a tray. Mama Ngozi saw the tray and asked, "What is this?" "Joseph's friends are coming, Ma. I prepared snacks for them." "Snacks? In this economy? Grace, are we not trying to save money? Give me that tray. Let me keep it in the kitchen." Before Grace could talk, Mama Ngozi grabbed the tray and disappeared into her room. When Joseph's friends arrived 30 minutes later, Grace went to get the snacks. The tray was empty. Mama Ngozi had eaten everything. Even the toothpicks were missing. "Where is the food?" Joseph asked Grace. "Your mother ate it," Grace whispered. "All of it? All, even the sausages." Joseph just sighed like a man carrying the weight of the whole world. His friends left after 10 minutes because there was nothing to eat. But the most wicked thing Mama Ngozi did happened one night. Grace had finally saved enough money to buy herself a new dress. Just one dress. After suffering for 2 months in her old maternity clothes, she wanted to look pretty again. She bought a beautiful Ankara dress, blue with yellow flowers, and hung it in her wardrobe. She was planning to wear it to church on Sunday. Sunday morning came. Grace went to her wardrobe to get her new dress. It was gone.
She searched everywhere, under the bed, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, nothing. Then she saw Mama Ngozi coming out of her room wearing the dress, the same dress. "Ma, that's my dress," Grace screamed. "Your dress? But I found it in the guest room. I thought it was a gift for me. You young people of nowadays, you don't know how to give gifts properly. You just leave them anyhow." "Ma, it was in my wardrobe." "Wardrobe? Guest room? What is the difference? Besides, it fits me perfectly. Look." Mama Ngozi did a spin like a model. The dress was so tight on Mama Ngozi that it looked like it would tear any second. But the woman was happy, smiling like she had won a lottery. Grace sat on the floor and cried. She cried and cried. Even Debbie Charles started crying with her. Joseph came out and saw both his wife and son crying on the floor and his stepmother dancing in a stolen dress.
"Mama, please give Grace back her dress," he said quietly. "Joseph, are you supporting your wife against me? After all I did for you, after I suffered to raise you when your mother died, is this how you repay me?" Joseph retreated like a soldier running from battle.
Finally, week 8 arrived. The 2 months were finished. Grace woke up that morning with joy in her heart. She was singing praise songs. Today was Freedom Day. Mama Ngozi would go back to the village. She even cooked Mama Ngozi's favorite soup, ofe nsala with big fish. She wanted to send the woman off in peace. After breakfast, Mama Ngozi called everyone to the sitting room. Grace and Joseph sat down. Baby Charles was sleeping. "I have something to tell you people," Mama Ngozi began. "Yes, Ma," Grace said. "Try not to smile too much." "I have been thinking and praying about this matter. This baby is too small. Grace is still too weak. And this Lagos is full of danger. Kidnappers, armed robbers, one-chance drivers everywhere. So, I have decided." She paused for effect. "I will not be going back to the village." The room became silent. So silent that you could hear a pin drop in Cameroon. "Ma," Grace whispered. "Yes, I will stay here, maybe 1 more year or 2, or until Charles is old enough to go to university. We will see." Grace fainted, just collapsed on the chair like a dead goat. When she woke up, Joseph was fanning her with a newspaper and Mama Ngozi was forcing her to drink hot water. "You see," Mama Ngozi announced triumphantly, "this is why I cannot leave. This girl is still fainting anyhow. What if she faints and falls on my grandson? No. I must stay and protect my grandchild."
That night, after Mama Ngozi went to sleep, Grace grabbed Joseph by his shirt. "Your stepmother said she is not leaving," she whispered angrily. "I heard. And what are you going to do about it?" "Me? What can I do?" "Joseph, let me tell you something. If that woman does not leave this house in the next 1 week, I will pack my things, carry my baby, and go back to my father's house, and I will never come back." "Grace, please. I am not joking. That woman has turned me into a slave in my own house. She eats all my food, wears my clothes, chases my friends, and now she wants to live here forever. Tufiakwa, God forbid." Joseph knew his wife was serious, very serious. He had never seen her eyes so red like this before. She looked like she could fight Mike Tyson and win. Okay, he whispered. "I will think of something." The next day, Joseph tried to talk to Mama Ngozi. "Mama, thank you so much for everything you have done for us. But I think Grace is strong now. Maybe you can go home and rest. We will come and visit you in the village soon." Mama Ngozi looked at him with such venom that he almost fell down. "Joseph, are you driving me away?" "No, Mama, I'm not driving you away. I'm just... After all I have done for you, I took care of you when your mother died. I suffered to raise you. I gave you food when you were hungry. And now you want to throw me out like trash?" "Mama, I'm not throwing you out. You know what? Fine, I will leave. I will go back to the village and die there. And when I die, don't come and cry at my funeral. Don't come, oh. I will haunt you. She stormed into her room and slammed the door so hard that the wall cracked. Joseph stood there like a mumu, not knowing what to do. Grace was threatening to leave. Mama Ngozi was threatening to die. His life had become like a Nollywood movie, but without the happy ending.
Grace knew she had to take matters into her own hands, so she called her friend Chioma. Chioma, I need you to do me a favor. After your wicked stepmother-in-law chased me last time, I'm not stepping foot in that house. Please, that woman is planning to live here forever. If you don't help me, they will be reading my obituary next week. Chioma sighed. Okay. What do you want me to do? Grace explained her plan. It was simple but dangerous. The next day, Chioma arrived at the house wearing a face cap and sunglasses like a detective. She knocked on the door. Mama Ngozi opened it. Yes, who are you looking for? Good afternoon, ma. My name is Nurse Chidima from the Lagos State Health Department. We are conducting a survey in this area. Survey? About what? About elderly people living in overcrowded conditions. We heard that you have been staying in this small flat for 2 months now. Is that correct? Mama Ngozi's eyes narrowed. Who told you? It's our job to know, ma. And according to our records, this flat is registered for only 3 occupants. Having a 4th person living here for so long is against the housing regulations. You could be fined 50,000 naira. What? 50,000 naira? Yes, ma. Unless you move back to your registered address immediately. Mama Ngozi's mouth was opening and closing like a fish. But don't worry, ma. If you move out within 48 hours, we will waive the fine. Here is the notice. She handed Mama Ngozi a paper that Grace had typed and printed at a business center. Mama Ngozi snatched the paper and slammed the door. The plan had failed. Mama Ngozi just tore the paper and threw it in the dustbin, laughing. Stupid girl, does she think I am a fool? Housing regulations ko, housing nonsense ni.
Grace was at the end of her rope. She had tried everything. She had begged, she had planned, she had schemed. Nothing was working. Then, like an angel from heaven, her mother called. Grace, my daughter, I am feeling better now. I want to come and see my grandson. Grace nearly screamed with joy. Mama, yes, come today, come right now. But what about Joseph's stepmother? Is she not there for omugwo? Mama, just come. When you reach Lagos, I will explain everything. Grace's mother, Mama Grace, a short, stout woman with a voice like thunder, arrived the next day. She walked into the house carrying her bag and shouting, "Where is my grandson? Where is my Charles?" Mama Ngozi came out of her room yawning. Who is making noise in this house? The 2 women looked at each other. It was like watching 2 lionesses meeting in the jungle. And who are you? Mama Grace asked.
Not that both mothers don't know each other. Joseph and Grace got married legally and both families have introduced themselves. But trouble was beginning to show face.
I am Joseph's mother. I am doing omugwo for my grandson. Omugwo for 2 months? My daughter, is this woman still here? Grace nodded sadly. Mama Grace turned to Mama Ngozi. Madam, omugwo is finished. You can go back to your village now. I am here to take over. Take over what? Who are you to tell me what to do? I am Grace's mother, and this is my daughter's house, not yours. Listen to this one, oh. Your daughter's house. Did she buy it with her own money?
Whether she bought it or not, it is her matrimonial home, and you have overstayed your welcome. The argument was getting hot like pepper soup. Joseph was hiding in the bedroom. Grace was holding baby Charles and praying that the two women would not kill each other.
For 3 days, the two mothers fought. They fought about everything. Mama Ngozi would cook. Mama Grace would complain that the food was too salty. Mama Grace would bathe the baby. Mama Ngozi would say the water was too cold. They could not agree on anything. The house became like a war zone. Grace and Joseph were just spectators, watching their mothers battle it out. One evening, Mama Grace had had enough. Mama Ngozi, she said firmly, you have done your omugwo. You have stayed your 2 months. Now it is time for you to go home. I am here now. I will take care of my daughter and my grandson. And if I refuse, Mama Ngozi challenged her, then I will call my brothers to come and escort you to the motor park by force. Mama Ngozi laughed. You are threatening me? No, I am making you a promise. Something in Mama Grace's voice made Mama Ngozi pause. This woman was serious, dead serious. That night, Mama Ngozi packed her bags, all 4 of them. The next morning, without saying goodbye, she left for the village. As her taxi drove away, Grace and Joseph stood at the window, watching. They waited until the car disappeared. Then they locked the door, turned to each other, and screamed with joy. She's gone, Grace shouted. She's really gone, Joseph replied. Even baby Charles seemed happy. He smiled his first real smile that day. Mama Grace stayed for 2 weeks, taught Grace everything she needed to know, and then went back to the village. My daughter, she said before leaving, next time your stepmother-in-law wants to visit, tell her 1 week maximum, not 2 months, not even 2 weeks, 1 week. Yes, Mama, Grace replied, hugging her mother tight. After Mama Grace left, Grace and Joseph finally had their house to themselves. It was quiet, it was peaceful, it was heaven. They could eat all the food in their own fridge. They could watch whatever they wanted on TV. They could laugh without worrying about someone shouting from the bedroom. 1 month later, Mama Ngozi called. Joseph, I want to come and visit my grandson. Joseph looked at Grace. Grace looked at Joseph. They both nodded. Mama, you are welcome to visit. For 2 days, not 2 weeks, not 2 months. 2 days, but 2 days, Mama. Take it or leave it. Mama Ngozi grumbled and complained, but she agreed. And when she came to visit, she stayed for exactly 2 days. On the 3rd day, Joseph personally drove her to the motor park and bought her ticket back to the village. And so, my friends, what have we learned from this story? First, when agreeing to omugwo, set clear boundaries from the beginning. 2 months means 2 months, not 2 years. Second, if your in-law comes for omugwo and starts eating all your food, wearing your clothes, and making you uncomfortable, speak up immediately, but in a loving and sweet manner. Don't suffer in silence. And this is the story of Grace and Joseph, a story of survival, laughter, and the day omugwo turned into war. Now, let me ask you, have you ever had a visitor who refused to leave your house? And tell me honestly, how long is too long for omugwo? 1 month, 2 months, or 6 months?